What's up YouTube, Brandon here. Time for another exceptionally low effort video, and this is going to be a quick comparison of the Holosun AEMS and the Eotech EXPS3. The reason for this comparison is I have been using the Holosun AEMS for a few years, and I recently upgraded, or side graded, however you want to call it, to the EXPS3. There are pros and cons to both, but I recently, within the last 6 months or so, started running a magnifier, and spoiler alert, that was the reason I switched to the EXPS3. So just real quick, what's going on here? The AEMS is sitting on top a ScalarWorks 193 mount, and then it has an adapter plate because at the time I bought this, it was newly released, and ScalarWorks didn't have an AEMS specific mount, so I had to use an adapter plate on the Aim.1 one, but now they do. That's neither here nor there, but just why it looks weird. So let's start with the pros of the Eotech. The main reason I switched to the Eotech was the glass clarity and the ability of the holographic reticle to not increase in size under magnification. I was very happy with the AEMS. I have the green dot, which I prefer. It's crystal clear at normal viewing. There is some distortion, particularly around the edges. These are known to have an amount of parallax. I mean, it's not huge, but compared to the EXPS3, which has, I think, the best parallax there is, it's noticeable, especially if you're moving this around. You can see distortion around the edges. This one virtually has no distortion at all, at least none that's visible to me, even under magnification. There's no tint that's visible on the Eotech. There's a very slight amount of tint that's visible on the AEMS, but the main issue I was having with the AEMS is that I have the Eotech, I think it's the G45 magnifier, so it's a 1:4 or 1.1 to 5x, I don't even know what it is. But the problem was when you flip the magnifier up, because of the way the LED emitter works in these type of dot optics, it increases the size of the dot, number one, and number two, that shows a little bit of starbursting. It's not as crisp looking, and then even more annoyingly, I could see a little bit of reflection on the square, kind of, how do I want to say it? Within the lens of this, there's a little bit of a reflective coating placed on a square, kind of in the center of the screen here. You cannot see it under normal conditions, but if you're zoomed in with the magnifier, you will see the circle dot or the dot, and then you will see the faintest little green rectangle / square, basically, which is the emitter lighting up the reflective surface. And that really, really annoyed me, to the point where I was willing to sacrifice the pros of this optic. So, pros of this optic: virtually no parallax, crystal clear glass, bomb-proof reliability, at least in this EXPS3 variation. They had previous issues in the past. The mounting solution that it comes with is better, although I am using a riser because I have the flip to center magnifier. Okay, so that's the pros of the Eotech. Pros of the AEMS. Areas it's significantly better, I think, than the Eotech. It's virtually half the weight, with or without the mount. If you mount this on the riser, I think it's actually half the weight because the riser is a lot heavier than the ScalarWorks one is. If you're using the stock mount of this, a stock mount to that, this is still almost twice as light. I think this is around 11.5 ounces. This is more like 6.5 ounces. So that's a significant difference in weight. Number two, this one comes in green. All my other optics are green. This is my only red one, so mildly irritating with that, but it's fine. The biggest issue is, or the biggest thing that AEMS I think has going for it, is the shake-awake technology and the vastly superior battery life to the EXPS3. EXPS3, I've never had one before, but I've heard it gets 500-600 hours per battery, which is terrible. And then it has just static timers, so you can set it to be 4 hours on or 8 hours on. That's it. Whereas this AEMS, I've had it 3-ish years. I haven't replaced the battery. I got it right when it came out, however long ago that was. And it's been on my bedside gun, so anytime I pick up the gun, it turns on, it's ready to go. So If I wasn't running the magnifier, I would still be rocking the AEMS because that's just so convenient. Another big pro for this one is it's significantly cheaper. I think it's at least $200 to $300 cheaper. I bought this one secondhand. It was, I think, around $550, so it wasn't too bad. It had basically been a display model, so it hadn't been fired. But yeah, if you're comparing new to new, this one is hundreds of dollars cheaper. One other pro, I should say, for the Eotech that doesn't apply to me is that if you get the EXPS3, it is pretty well known to have the best night vision capability of any dot style optic because of the clarity of the glass and the extensive night vision settings this thing has. The AEMS, from what I've seen, is pretty decent. I think it's maybe the best Holosun offering when it comes to night vision performance, but from everything I've seen, it doesn't have the light transmission and it doesn't have as many settings for night vision use as the Eotech does. Other, like I said, minor con, I prefer green reticles, and you cannot get the green reticle in the EXPS3. You can get it in the EXPS2 from Eotech. For a brief period, Eotech actually did make a green EXPS3. I found the UPC number. I looked everywhere for it, could not find one. It appears they discontinued it because it was kind of counterproductive, right? This is heavily designed to be a night vision, passive aiming type optic, and green is significantly brighter than red in terms of like the spectrum, I guess. And so the rumor I saw of why it was discontinued was, number one, not many people were buying it. Number two, it kind of defeated the purpose because the green, it was harder to get all the night vision settings as faint as they needed to be, I guess, because the green is just more powerful lasers. I don't know what was happening there. So yeah, overall, I think I'm going to keep this one and maybe pop it on like a PCC or something like that, something that's not going to have a magnifier. But I am very happy with this, running it with the magnifier. I think it's worth the money. I would highly recommend find a used one. You're going to save $200-300 easily. If you get the black one, that one was even cheaper, but I wanted the tan, or whatever you want to call this, sand color. So I paid a little bit more, but I could have gotten a used black one for like $400 to $450 range when I was looking at these. So yeah, let me show you the reticle here on this one. So you can see, just very basic, but they kind of invented this. That's fine. Oh, other thing that the Holosun has going for it is you have the ability to choose the reticles, and it comes with the flip down caps from the factory. So being able to switch between multiple reticles is really nice. Shake await's really nice. Having the built-in lens caps is nice. Although, to be fair, when you're coming to protection, the Eotech has the shroud. So, this one doesn't have the shroud, it has a lens cap. This one doesn't have a lens cap, it has shroud. Pick and choose. This one's mount is better. The stock mount is definitely better. I've had bad luck with Holosun stock mounts in the past, so now whenever I buy them, I just immediately take off whatever stock mount they have and put them on a Scalar Works or something like that. So yeah, nothing groundbreaking, but figured I'd do a little low effort video on my thoughts. And like I said, I'm pretty happy with this. And I'll throw it on my rifle real quick and show you the final setup so you can see what I'm working with here. And we'll be right back. Yep, so here it is, sitting on the 14.5 PWS MK114 Mod 2. We got the Streamlight light laser combo in the front. Dead air flash hider, got the Troy vertical grip, metal. I'm a big fan of the metal, kind of old school. I just feel like I get a little bit better control. We have the EXPS3 sitting on the Unity riser that puts it up to 2.2 whatever it is. I actually like the riser flipped in reverse. It just makes it a little bit less snag prone. We got the flip to center magnifier. We're running a Geisley, some super dynamic, whatever trigger. LaRue APEG grip. We got the PWS buffer tube. We got the ratcheting castle nut. I don't remember who made this riser. It's pretty cool. It brings me in perfect alignment every time. Inside, we're running the JP captured buffer spring system. We're running a radian lower, fully ambi, which is really nice. We have some other internal changes, which I don't really remember off the top of my head. Oh, the roller cam pin, we got that in there as well. So yeah, pretty stoked. Oh, and the Radian Raptor charging handle. So yeah, that's the build. Pretty happy with it, and going to be taking class with it next month. So we'll see how the EXPS3 fares, and then we'll get back.